Hey guys, welcome back to Land Investing Online. Come unlock your potential freedom through land investing. Here at Land Investing Online, we teach students how to profitably buy and sell vacant land. This is the simplest, least competitive, and most profitable sector of real estate. To learn more, visit landinvestingonline.com. We even have a free Discord with tons of successful investors, including Ron and myself. Come learn from the best. If you guys got any value from our previous podcast or this, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you guys are listening on. It means the world to Ron and I, and it drives this business forward. As always, guys, I'm Daniel Apke, joined again by my brother and business partner, Ron Apke. Welcome back, Ron.
Hey, Dan, good to be here.
Good to be here, too. So today's topic, we're going to talk about pricing, which is always a hot topic. People always want to get better at pricing, which is really, really good to see and continue. It's something you're never going to perfect. So always continuing to work on pricing, I feel like it's a big part of this business. But before we get into that, let's go over a question from today's featured member. Question is, I just sold my first property. I bought it for $20,000 in early June and just sold it for $67,000. The profit is about 6 months of work at my W-2. So that's $47,000 off one deal. That's really good. I just want to say thanks and see if you have any advice to keep the momentum going. Wow, really good question. And we get this question a lot, Ron. What do you have to say to this? So they want to know if they can quit their job, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of took it a different way, not necessarily quitting a job. Congrats, obviously. Um, I mean, that's awesome. Like doing from one deal, making half the amount of money that you'll make in a year at your W-2 is awesome. Like that is a really big deal, what you did. And those numbers are fantastic. Like we'll do those deals all day long, obviously. But yeah, to keep the consistency, I don't know if that's where they're taking it, Dan. Maybe they are. If you're just trying to keep doing what you're doing at a higher volume, send more mail, work on your systems, be extremely consistent with your mail. And those are the biggest things. If you're trying to work towards quitting your job, I wouldn't just quit your job based on one deal. I would not, even though it's great money there. Don't just rely on one deal. If you don't have those systems in place, you want to get that in place first. Have your mail being very consistent. But that's what I would suggest, Dan. Like keep getting mail out consistently. If you want more deals, send more mail. It's as simple as that. But make sure your systems are in place to scale with that mail volume.
Exactly. Well, congrats first off. That's really cool to see that, and that's what we're trying to do. That's our mission, is to create potential freedom for our members and just followers. And that freedom, whether it's financial freedom, they just made $47,000 off one deal, whether that's freedom to do what you want on your own time, they're considering quitting their W-2 or they're on that path. That's what we're here to do. That location freedom, you don't need to go to your 9 to 5 anymore. So that's really our mission, but really love to see that. So congratulations for that member. Let's get into today's show, pricing your mail to get the best return. Interesting topic, Ron. I don't have much to say here. I don't know a jack wagon about pricing personally. That's your job. So
I mean, I think you
what is
see it
this?
at the back end, Dan. Like, let's talk I mean, a lot of things we do, we kind of talk backwards, I think, Dan. What are you seeing because a lot of these purchase agreements we get, or a lot of these sellers are calling, you already see what we offered. And you can also see in regards to what we think it's worth, I guess. But when you see on that back end, like what are you kind of seeing as far as the pricing when you're evaluating the land? Like let's say it's 5 acres for 30 grand we offered. Are you seeing pretty consistently that we can make $20,000-$30,000 on that, and not really pricing where we're going to make $70,000 on a $30,000 offer? What are you seeing on the back end though as doing the sales?
Yeah, pretty consistently. I think doubling is what I'm pretty seeing consistently. I don't look at the pricing up front, to be honest. I look at what we're offered, but I don't look at what it's going to sell for unless they're looking to negotiate. I see pretty commonly, if something's $20,000, we're probably selling low 40s, maybe mid 40s, and if it has some good features, maybe 50. Sometimes a little less than that. It's rare for if we're offering 20 for it to be less than 35, 38. It's usually about
Yep.
a little over double, I think, in my mind.
Yeah, and reason I want to ask you, because I think that's the biggest thing with pricing. Like, too many people get sucked into one little expensive area in a county or something like that, and it messes up all their pricing. So that $20,000 offer we just had is 30,000, and now you have a bunch of accepted offers, 30,000 that are worth 37 or something like that.
Right.
So that's we want. It's a broad thing. It's not just you cannot get too micro with it. You're broadly sending these mailers out. We want to be priced correctly on the most possible mailers. It's not going to be 100%, but if we can price correctly for even 60%, 70% of the mail, Dan, the ones that are going to be under or overpriced, our bad land is going to be overpriced. That's what we want. Bad land to be overpriced, and we want superior land, waterfront, giant pond on it, whatever. Those attributes to be underpriced. And that's just how it's going to end up. Ideally, those ones with attributes aren't underpriced, but there's no effective way and time effective way, I guess it'd say, to get that so we're getting those offers correctly. But you do not want to be overpriced. Most land is pretty normal land. It's got road access, and that's probably 60-70% of your offers. Those need to be priced right. That's how you're going to get deals. And like Daniel said, he's seeing pretty consistently where we can double. That is the spot to be, whether it's buy 20, sell 42, buy 20, sell 38. We'll do those deals all day long. Like, even if we're not doubling exactly, like, we're going to do those deals all day long. Do you have any insight on that, Dan?
Yeah, first off, I want to stop there for a second. For people who are new here, we're talking about what we're sending our offers. So we send mail out with offer letters on them to acquire these properties. So we're talking, okay, we send an offer, someone opens that envelope, we're offering them $20,000 to buy their property and sell it for around saying 42,000 in that instance that he was just talking about. So that's our offer letter. That's what we're buying it for. Then we're closing it and selling it for that 42,000. Just wanted to clear that up because I don't think we spoke much about that. I know we have a lot of new people on this channel as well. But in general, like, the more aggressive pricing equals the more deals you'll get. So just with lower margins, the more aggressive pricing, the lower margins you'll get, and the more deals you'll get. Right, Ron?
Yep. To get the best return, like, there is a sweet spot. It's not an exact number, and that's what we titled this, to get the best return. How to do it. Like, you need to be in that sweet spot where you can say yes to a lot of these purchase agreements you get back. You don't want to be overpriced, underpriced, because that's an uncomfortable conversation, especially when you're overpriced. So evaluating the land, getting the comps is extremely important. I think one of the biggest thing, Dan, that we've been talking a lot with our coaching members on is a low volume of very good comps is better than a high volume of bad comps. If I have 15 bad or 15 decent comps, I'm not even going to say bad, 15 decent comps, like, we're not sure about the land or something like that, but then we have 3 or 4 that are like good. Like, this is a normal piece of 5 acres. This is a normal 6 acre. This is a normal 4.5 acre. You're going to be able to use that data and make a very good estimate at what the market value is, Dan. But I think that's been every single coaching call, I think that has come up, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it comes down to, you said this in a coaching call the other day. Would you rather have 3 properties you're buying for $30,000 and selling for $90,000, or let's do $30,000 and selling for $100,000, or would you
One
rather
property.
have? I said 3, but yeah,
So if
one property.
you want me to say it?
Yeah, go ahead. You can do it either way. I was going to go from 3 to 10.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, doing it like that, would you rather have 3 properties, and I'm going to do this in my head while I'm doing this, 3 properties buying for whatever. I'm going to say buy for 30,000 and sell for 100,000. So that's $210,000. Or would you rather have 10 properties buying for $50,000 and selling for $100,000? And that's 500,000. So you make
Exactly.
2.5x the amount of money by offering more because you're more aggressive with your pricing. And that's a large scale. Like, you're not going to get 10 properties at $50,000 from one county or anything like that. But just the mindset of it. And some
It's,
people kind of think like, oh, I could have offered less. I'm not exactly doubling my money. I'm only making whatever. I'm buying for 55 and selling for 105 or something like that. But at scale, that's what's going to happen. You keep offering 20% more, not even that much more. But instead of offering that $30,000, you're offering $45,000, $50,000 for that $100,000 property. It's going to, at scale, make you a ton more money in the long run, Dan.
more
But I
sustainable
don't want
too.
to get this exactly. I don't want to get this into people overpricing, because I do not want you to be there as well. But it's about getting the right comps. It's about kind of understanding the numbers. Like, you get the market value, work backwards. Let's say market value is $20,000. Work backwards. What do you want to buy a $20,000 property for? What do you think is going to get you the best results? So I would probably say seven and a half, $8,000. After closing costs, you're going to be in $9,000. You buying for 9,000 and selling for 20, do that all day long. You offer that same thing at $3,000, you might not get any deals. And those are real things that happen, and it affects, like, someone gets a $3,000 offer in the mail, and it's worth $20,000, they might be offended. Someone gets a
Yeah.
$7,500, $8,000 offer. They're like, okay, this is, maybe they just ask you to round up to 8,500 or something like that. But
Happens a lot.
those are situations I see, Dan. And when you're priced well, and we've had some counties that were priced so well, and it's just like, these people are asking for a couple hundred more dollars because they don't want to scare us off.
Yeah, exactly. And it all depends too. I did want to touch on this and we'll get more into that as well. But if you're in an area that you're very comfortable in, you've done deals there as well, don't be shy to offer more and test it out. There are areas in this country I would be happy if Ron sent out for 65% or 60%, just because I know what we're going to, even if it was buy that same deal he just talked about, buy 7,500, maybe buy 11 after closing cost, you're at 12.5 and you're selling for 19, but we know the area so well. We have realtors there. We have a great title company there. Um, we know exactly what it's going to sell for without risk because our realtor walked it. We got drone pictures on it, and we sold a property a block away, or a mile away, or something. Um, so you got to look at it like that too. Like what risk? It's all a risk game, right? We want to double money in markets we don't know, obviously, or more than that, because you don't really know until you know, right? You don't know until it's for sale and what it's going to sell for. You don't know exactly what the features are on the property. We're doing this remote. There are question marks there. That's why we like to double our money. Everyone always asks why you need those margins. You don't. It's very profitable. You can go tighter if you want, but there are risks associated with this. But with our process and what we teach in the course, I am thrilled to say and very transparently telling you we have never lost money on a deal or even came close to it. And our margins are almost always doubling or close to doubling or more. And it averages out to a little over doubling, I think, if I'm right. But like our margins are great and we're not losing money on any deal. Hopefully we never lose money on a deal. But at the same time, maybe we're not taking enough risk. So if we're not losing money on any deals and we're doing 100 deals a month, like Ron said, next year, or a thousand deals a year, if we're not losing money on one deal, are we not taking enough risk? What are we missing out on? You got to look at it that way too. So you can, this is a rabbit hole you can go down. But yeah, just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as if we're going to do 1,000 deals next year, and to do that, like 5% maybe, that would be 50 deals losing money on. As long as you're not losing 100, $200,000, stuff like that, like you're not just buying, and the processes and the systems, and we're kind of going down, I think, a rabbit hole, but that's fine. The process and the systems are going to hopefully weed out like those huge losses that you could potentially have. And obviously, at that volume, you need to really have your systems in place. But yeah, I just think that really matters as far as that. Like, you can be more aggressive, but it matters what your mindset is. Like, do you just want to, are you trying to do this full time? You might want to be more aggressive and try to get a higher volume of deals. But if you don't have enough time and you're busy and you don't have the systems in place, maybe be a little cheaper. And then you'll have those really good deals that come up that buy 30, sell for 100. You're going to have those come up. They're not going to come up every mailer by any means, but it's going to happen every 20,000 mailers, maybe 30,000 mailers. You're going to get one of those that you make $70,000 on if you're priced like that. But it's being in the right spot. Everyone has their own uh, how they price. You want to, if you're, even if you're a member in the course, like, you want to take what I teach you and go and make it your own a little bit. I push everyone to do that. That's why I try in the coaching calls. I do a decent amount and help them. But I always leave something for them to do themselves so I can evaluate and they can kind of spin it their own ways, because there are so many ways to do this and it's going to get different results, not necessarily better or worse, just different, Dan.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really all I have. I'm trying to think. I thought I had one more thing to add, but I think that's all I have. Do you want to add anything else to this discussion, Ron?
No, I think if you're a member thinking about becoming a member, whatever, wherever you are in your career, just think about your mail, like getting the most effective mail out as far as like getting the largest volume of mail that is priced well. And it's a sweet spot that you need to be in. Um, you got to really deal with the data. You got to be able to learn, go in our Wednesday calls, learn how to get rid of bad comps. We do that all day long in those Wednesday calls at 6 p.m. And you'll see Daniel and I look for one or two good comps when we're approving these, when we're saying yes or no to these deals that members bring us. But no, pricing is a huge point. It's one of many aspects in the land investing industry and becoming successful in this. But it's extremely important, I think.
Exactly. Well, that's all we have. I hope you guys got something out of that. As always, thank you guys for joining. To get started and to unlock your potential freedom, we're talking about your location freedom, your financial freedom, your ability to work on your own schedule and manage yourself rather than your 9 to 5 job or boss. That's the freedom we're talking about, guys. Visit landinvestingonline.com to join our free Discord where Ryan and I are involved. We have a ton of members in there, or a ton of non-members in there, just networking, there to have a good time and there to grow as people. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel or podcast, guys. It means a lot and it drives this business forward. Other than that, we'll see you next episode, and thank you for joining.
Thanks, guys.